Look, I'm not going to tell you to go buy this expensive ass mattress or go buy all these different type of gadgets in order to improve your sleep. I'm going to give you 3 practical things that you can do without spending a single dollar that will significantly improve your sleep within the next couple of days. And these are 3 things that I have personally implemented into my own life over the past couple of weeks that have significantly improved my sleep schedule. Going from staring at the ceiling for multiple hours per night trying to shut my brain off to now falling asleep within 5 or 10 minutes consistently almost every single night. So first, and probably the most important thing, is to make sure that you even deserve the sleep to begin with. Ask yourself throughout your day, have you fatigued your mind and your body through hard work? Because I found that on the days where I just waste time and I just don't do the work that I need to do and I don't work as hard as I could have, my sleep is significantly worse. But when I follow my routine to a T, I train twice a day, I do all the work that I said I was going to, by the time 10 or 11 p.m. rolls around, I am so tired I cannot wait to get into bed. Because if 12, 1 a.m. rolls around and you're still full of energy, that means you didn't use it during the day.
No shit, Sherlock.
So go train harder, do more than you usually do. Push through the resistance that your mind is telling you to stop. Don't worry about overtraining or any of this bullshit that you see online, because the only way to find out what your limits are is to push yourself to the limit. And once you find out what that limit is, where you're on the brink of almost burnout or complete exhaustion, live just under that limit at a level where you can sustain that level of intensity. And over time, what you'll find out is your mind and your body will adapt to it over time, and you'll be able to again increase that level of intensity in the future. You've also probably heard the advice where people tell you don't use your device 1 to 2 hours before bed because it's going to negatively impact your sleep. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's bullshit.
Oh no, he didn't.
Because I use my device up until the minute that I fall asleep every single night. But there are 2 things that you need to understand first. 1, make sure that you lower the brightness and you turn on a red light filter in your settings, whether you have iPhone or Android, you can do it with both. And 2, do not look at anything that will trigger your brain psychologically.
What the hell is even that?
Because the mistake that I see so many people make is when they're on their phone before bed, they're on those normal apps that everybody uses like TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat and whatever. And when you do that, you're bound to see something that's going to trigger something in you. You'll see some girl shaking her ass on TikTok. You'll randomly get into some Twitter beef with some guy about politics. And me, for example, if I go onto YouTube Analytics and I see some comment, even that could trigger me. Even if it's a nice comment or it's a bad comment, it doesn't matter. It will psychologically turn on something in my brain that will make it harder for me to fall asleep. So best case scenario, this is what I do. I either have an audiobook playing in the background or I have the actual ebook pulled up on my phone and I'll just sit there and read that with the brightness down and the red light filter on, of course. And that shit will put me out like a light in 5 to 10 minutes max. Because, for example, if you're watching a Mr. Beast video or scrolling TikTok compared to reading a book, which one do you think is going to make you fall asleep faster?
Anyone! Oh, pick me!
And another thing you can do, which is super simple and will immediately improve your sleep, is to go to bed and wake up roughly at the same time every single day. And the reason that most people don't follow this advice, even though you've heard it 100 times before, is because they allow distractions and chaos to enter their schedule and they use it as an excuse to why they can't go to bed and wake up at the same time every single day.
Nuh-uh.
Now, I understand if a genuine emergency comes up that affects your sleep schedule and what time you can go to bed that night, but that's hopefully only going to happen once in a blue moon. But you should have the ability 99% of the time to control your schedule to the point where you can go to sleep and wake up roughly at the same time every single day, including weekends. Because weekends are bullshit. They're literally a modern psyop that does not exist for humans. I don't care what anyone says. And my parents do this shit all the time, and you can probably even relate to this, where they go to sleep at like 10 or 11 and then they wake up at 7 or 8 during the week. And then on weekends, they stay up till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning watching some show or some movie. And then they sleep in till 10 or 11 in the morning. And then they wonder why they're always exhausted and they can't sleep during the week. So you want to know the perfect sleep schedule? This is going to be so anticlimactic, but it is find one that you can sustain for the rest of your life. And me last year, I would have told you, you have to wake up at 5 a.m., all this tough guy shit, right? But let's be realistic here. I'm not going to go to sleep at fucking 8 p.m. and wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning for the rest of my life, right? For me, it's a lot more realistic to go to bed at 11 and then wake up at 6 or 7 in the morning. That's a lot more reasonable and a lot more sustainable for me. And for you, it might be different. But you want to know what's better than trying to find the perfect sleep schedule? consistency. Because there's a guy by the name of Matthew Walker that you've probably seen on Joe Rogan's podcast or something like that, but he's a sleep expert, and he says that the consistency of when you go to sleep and when you wake up is actually more important than when you go to sleep, and even more important than how many hours you spend sleeping. So figure out for yourself what time you could go to sleep and wake up every single night and morning for the rest of your life. And then once you find out what that schedule is, you then need to reset yourself into this new schedule that you've made for yourself, which sounds hard to do because if you're used to going to bed at 2 a.m. and waking up at 10, and now you want to start going to bed at 10 and waking up at 6, you're probably wondering, how the fuck can I do that? Well, it's actually a lot simpler than you think. So tonight, just go to bed at your usual time, but still set your alarm for your ideal wake up time.
What?
And yeah, it's going to suck, and yeah, you're going to be tired all day, but that's the point. Because by the time 10 or 11 p.m. rolls around, you're not going to be able to wait to jump into bed because of how tired you're going to be. And after only 2 or 3 days of this, you're naturally just going to reset your mind and your body to want to go to bed at 11 and wake up at 7, or whatever time that you set for yourself. There's also one bonus strategy that I've used to completely fix my sleep schedule that I made a video about a while ago, which is titled something along the lines of waking up early is easy when you know this. So go watch that video right now if you want to learn more. The link to it is going to be in the description. But remember, success is not the best revenge, it's the only revenge. And I'll see you in the next one.